show ya. Remy boys ain't no fast money don't show.
Good morning everyone, it's me Lloyd Evangelista again, and for today's video, I will discuss to you the role number 9 up to role number 12 of soft boon. Role number 9, which is dead ball and ball in play. Section number 1, the ball is dead. Kailan matatawag na dead yung isang bola? So one example is kapag yung bola is nabat illegally. Nabat siya pero illegal yung pagbat. So dead ball yun. Next example is kapag yung steps ng batter is from one box to another. At kapag yung pitcher is taking the signal or appears to be taking the signal from the pitcher's plate. Or siya ay nakastep sa pitching plate. So dead ball yun. Another one is yung foul fly ball is hindi na-catch ng fielder. So dead ball yun. Kasi foul nga eh. Section number 2, which is the ball is in play. Kailan naman matatawag na yung bola is in play, hindi siya dead ball? Sa pagsisimula ng laro o yung inning, kapag yung pitcher is nasa kanya na yung bola at siya ay nasa pitching position. At kapag magtatawag na ng play ball yung umpire, yung plate umpire. Another one is kapag yung fair ball ay tumama sa umpire o sa runner on fair ground. Another example is kapag yung runners is naabot nila lahat yung bases to which they are entitled after fielder illegally fields a batter. It's either thrown or pitch ball. And also kapag yung fair ball is legally batted. So yun, matatawag na the ball is in play. Section number 3, which is delayed dead ball. Kailan naman mangyayari yung delayed dead ball? So mayroong 5 situations kung saan yung violations ng rule is nangyari. Yung umpire ma-recognize na ito and the ball remains live until the conclusion of the play. So yung mga sitwasyon na yun ay yung illegal pitch, catcher's obstructions, plate umpire interference, obstruction, detached equipment contacting a thrown ball, a pitch ball, or a fair batted ball. That's all for the rule number 9. And now let's proceed to rule number 10, which is umpires. Section number 1, power and duties. Ano nga ba yung power ng mga umpire and yung kanilang duties? Ano nga ba yun? So, yung mga umpire, sila yung representative ng liga o ng organization kung saan sila ay na-assign in a particular game. Sila lang yung may authorized at required na mag-enforce each section of these rules. Meron silang kapangyarihan na mag-order ng player, coach, its other captain or manager to do or omit to do any act which in their judgment ay kinakailangan na bigyan ng force and effect to one or all of these rules and to inflict penalties herein prescribed. Sila din yung may authorized na gumawa ng decision sa lahat ng klase ng situations not specifically covered by the rules. At syempre, yung umpire is dapat hindi siya miyembro ng isang team kasi bias yun, bawal yun. At yung umpire is dapat sigurado siya sa date, sa time, at lugar kung saan maglalaro yung mga player. At dapat nandun na siya sa field within 20 or 30 minutes ahead of times. Yung umpire din is hindi dapat sila magsusuot ng mga jewelry na magkakos ng hazard kasi bawal yun. Section number 2, which is the plate umpire. So sino nga ba itong plate umpire? So yung plate umpire, siya yung nakaposisyon sa likod ng catcher. Kung saan nakapwesto yung catcher, sa likod niya, yun yung tinatawag na plate umpire. Siya yung may responsible for the proper conduct of the game. Siya rin yung tatawag ng all balls at lahat ng strikes. So bilang plate umpire, no, ang daming role nito. Siya rin yung magdi-declare ng a batter bans or chops a ball. Magdi-declare din siya kapag yung batted ball is touches the person or clothing of the batter. Aalamin niya rin kapag yung laro is forfeited. And of course, the plate umpire shall assume all duties when assigned as a single umpire to a game. Section number 3, which is the base umpire. Ano naman tong role ng base umpire? Sila yung mga nakapwesto sa playing field. Siya rin yung mag-a-assist sa plate umpire in every way in order to enforce the rules of the game. Now let's proceed to role number 4, which is the responsibilities of a single umpire. So ano nga ba yung responsibilidad ng single umpire? So yung kanyang duty and jurisdiction is extended to all points. So ang pwesto nito ay nandun sa likod ng home plate. So kapag nabat na yung bola, yung single umpire is pupunta na siya dun sa likod ng home plate and into the infield to obtain the best position for any play that develops. So yun yung responsibilidad ng single umpire. Section number 5, which is change of umpires. Kailan naman papalitan yung umpire? Hindi mapapalitan yung umpires during a game by the consent of the opposing teams unless yung umpire is na injury o sabihin natin nagkasakit. Doon lamang mapapalitan yung umpire. Doon lamang mapapalitan yung umpire. Section number 6, umpire's judgment. So ano nga ba yung hatol ng umpire? There shall be no appeal from any decision of any umpire on the grounds that he was not correct in his conclusion as to whether a batted ball was fair or foul. It's either a runner safe or out. Yung pitch ball or strike or ball or on any play involving accuracy of judgment, no decision rendered by any umpire shall be reversed. Section number 7, which is signals. So kailan ba ginagawa yung mga signals? To indicate that the play shall begin. So ginagamit yung mga signal halimbawa sa simula ng laro or resume, pagpatuloy, yung umpire is tatawag ng play ball. And at the same time, gagawa na ng motion yung pitcher to deliver the ball. And another example is kapag nagtawag ng strike yung umpire, itataas niya yung kanyang kanang kamay upward and indicating the number of strikes by his fingers, at the same time calling strike in a clear and decisive voice. So dapat malakas yung pagtawag niya na strike at klaro. So maraming signal na ginagawa dito sa larong softball, before the game, during the game, and after the game. It's either dead ball man yan or the ball is in play. Meron pa rin signal yan, hand signal. Section number 8, which is suspension of play. So kailan nga ba masususpend yung isang laro? So yung umpire is magdi-declare na isususpend niya yung laro during his judgment kapag yung conditions justify such actions. So yung umpire is magsususpend ng laro whenever a batter or pitcher steps out of position for a legitimate reason. So that's all for the rule number 10. And now let's proceed to rule number 11, which is protest. Section number 1, which is protest that will not be received. Kailan naman hindi na-receive yung protest? Protest shall not be received or considered if they are based solely on a decision involving the accuracy of judgment sa part ng umpire. O pwede rin na yung team is lodging the protest on the game. So meron mga example ng mga protest na hindi considered. So ano yon? Whether a ball is fair or foul ball, whether a runner is safe or out, whether a pitch ball was a strike or foul, whether a pitch ball is strike or ball, whether a pitch was legal or illegal, and so on and so forth. So maraming example ng protest na hindi considered. Section number 2, protest that will be received. So kailan naman nangyayari na yung protest is consider na siya? So, it includes matters of the following types. Misinterpretation of a playing rule. Nagkamali yung umpire sa pag-apply ng tamang rule to a given situation. At nagkamali siya na mag-impose ng penalty for a given violation. Section number 3, which is protest involving judgment and interpretation of rule. Protest may involve both a matter of judgment and the interpretation of the rule. So these kinds of situations are the following. With one out and the runners on second and third bases, the batter flied out. The runner on third tagged up after the catch. The player on second did not. Section number 4, which is notification of intent to lodge protest. Itong notification of intent to lodge protest ay ginagawa immediately bago yung next pitch. Let's proceed to section number 5, which is time to lodge an official protest. So yung protest na sinulat officially must be filled within a reasonable time. Within 48 hours after the scheduled time of the contest is generally considered a reasonable time. Section number 6, which is information required for written protest. So yung formal written protest should contain the following information. So ano yun? Yung date, time, and place of the game. Yung pangalan ng mga umpires and the scorers, the rules, and the section of the official rules or local rules under dun sa protest na ginawa. Yung decisions and conditions surrounding the making of decision. At lahat ng essential facts ay involved in the matter protested. Section number 7, which is result of protest. So ano nga ba yung magiging resulta ng protest? The decision made on a protested game must result kapag yung protest is found invalid and the game score stands as played. O pwede rin na kapag yung protest is allowed for misinterpretation of a playing rule, the game is replayed from the point at which the incorrect decision was made, with the decision corrected. And now, let's proceed to the last role of softball. Role number 12, which is scoring. Section number 1, which is the official scorer. So, sino nga ba yung mga official scorer? Sila yung mga nagre-record of each game outlined in the following rules. Sila rin yung may karapatan na gumawa ng lahat ng decisions involving judgment. Section number 2, which is the back score. So, lahat ng pangalan at posisyon ng bawat manlalaro or positions to be played ay nakalista in the order in which he batted or would have batted unless yung player is legally substituted, ejected, or inalis sa laro o natapos na yung laro before his turns at bat. Section number 3, base hits shall not be recorded. Kailan naman mangyayari na hindi ire-record yung pag-hits ng base? Pag yung runner is forced out by a batted ball or would have been forced out except for a fielding error. Another one is when a player fielding a batted ball retires a preceding runner with ordinary effort. Section number 4, which is sacrifice fly balls. So bakit siya tinawag na sacrifice fly balls? So masuscore lamang yung sacrifice fly kapag with less than 2 outs. The batter scores a runner with a fly ball which is caught. Or pwede rin yung bola or yung line drive handled by an outfielder is dropped and a runner scores, and in the judgment and in the scorer judgment, the runner could have scored after the catch had the fly ball been caught. Section number 5, which is runs batted in. A run batted in is a run scored because one of the following reasons of runs batted in is that a safe hit, a sacrifice bunt or slap hit, or sacrifice fly, and a foul fly caught, an infield put out, or fielder's choice. Pwede rin yung a runner forced home because of obstruction, the batter being hit with a pitch ball or being given base and balls. Section number 6, which is pitcher credited with a win. Kailan naman mangyayari na yung pitcher is credited? A pitcher shall be credited with a win kapag siya ay nagsimula para mag-pitch and has a pitch at least 4 innings and his team was not only in the lead when he is replaced but remains in the lead for the remainder of the game. Section number 7, which is pitcher charged with a loss. So kailan naman matcha-charge yung pitcher with a loss? A pitcher charged with a loss regardless with the number of innings he has pitched. Now let's proceed to section number 8, game summary. Ano nga ba itong game summary? So yung summary is nakalista sa different items. So ano yung mga items na yon? The score by innings and the final score, the runs batted in and by whom hit, kung sino yung nag-hit, 2 base hits by home hit, kung sino yung nag-hit ng 2 base, 3 base hits by home hit, kung sino yung naka-home runs, kung sino yung nag-sacrifice flies, at marami pang iba. Summary. Section number 9, stolen bases. Ano naman itong stolen bases? Are credited to a runner whenever he advances 1 base unaided by a hit, put out, an error, a forced out, a fielder's choice, a pass ball, a wild pitch, or an illegal pitch. Section number 10, which is records of forfeited games. So lahat ng records of a forfeited game shall be included in the official records except lamang dun sa pitchers who won lost record. So that's all for the rule of number 12. Thank you.